Hello. Glad you can make it. Today I will be drawing meme. Hello. It's Saturday. Stuff is... I don't know. I'm just chilling. Hey! Good on you, man! Ah, freedom. I wouldn't give to be free for a month and a half. So yeah, we're gonna draw our good buddies, Phineas and Gerald, in the Barbie meme. Got it flipped here, because that's how I do it. Got a nice little sketch going. And I'll be doing that from there. Yeah, God, I want to chill so bad. I mean, I am kind of chilling. It's because it's the weekend and all, but... God, I need, like... I need less work week. We need a fucking 4-day work week. I swear to God, I'm gonna go batshit. Heh. But yeah, other than that, I'm fine. I'm just sleepy, but I'm always sleepy. Hang on, let me turn down this music a little bit. Just want it, just a little ambient. There we go. And for the record, they will be spattered in blood by the end of the art process. Yeah, I cannot wait to see the... I don't watch a lot of movies. I tend to... I just like... I have trouble sitting down and focusing on things most of the time. I always gotta be doing like 20 different things to focus on one single thing. Or like, more like three. 3 things. So, seeing a movie in theaters is hard for me because I can't, like, look at my phone. But if the movie's, like, engaging enough, I can look at, like, nothing but that. It's no biggie. Last movie I saw in theaters was the Robert Pattinson Batman. I really enjoyed that. That was, like, edge of my seat, and it was so long, but it kept me engaged the whole time. Which says a lot. Today's stream shouldn't be too long. Bust drawings always take me way less time than full body drawings or half body drawings. I don't know exactly what they did for the mugshot. I imagine it's something to do with, like the general premise of, like, the story that they're in is that, like, weird, sort of supernatural shit and culty shit is going down, in this little sleepy town where they live. And Phineas is, like, compelled by his curiosity and his own, like, amnesia to go around and try and figure some of this shit out, and Gerald ends up being strung along with that. So, like, I imagine, like, there was some fucked up monster encounter, or they accidentally walked into some fucked up cult ceremony or some shit, and they were the only ones there when the cops came, and they were covered in blood, and so like, oh. For the record, though, the cops in the town are absolutely corrupt. They're absolutely in the pocket of the cult. Not that they wouldn't be shitty even without it, because, you know, cops. So yeah, maybe they actually didn't really do anything wrong. Maybe it was, like, actually clear that someone else was responsible when they just happened to be covered in blood, but the cops were like, nah. I imagine that, the town they live in is called Mornstead, and it's in Connecticut. It's a fake town. I made it up. But I have this, like, picture of the police force there. They have, like, 100%, like, solve rate in their town. But that's just because the cops end up, like, framing people if they can't find who really did it. Yeah, like, I actually have this, like, there's... Gutmouth is something that I want to actually turn into, like, a fully realized thing. I don't plan on having an actual subplot with the police force in the town. I do plan... there is going to be obvious implications that they're in on the whole thing. The whole town isn't in on it, but, officials are. And cops and stuff. Maybe there's a handful of cops who don't know and just kind of mosey on with it. Like, oh, framing people, okay. Same shit as usual. Do the same shit over in Stanford. But, like, I had this sort of subplot planned out that I don't want to do because it'll just end up being a lot. But I have a concept for, like, the chief of police or just, like, one of the higher-up detectives. Like, the thing about this stuff going down in Mornstead is that people, like, all over just have weird-ass fucked up powers. And I'm not going to spoil exactly where those come from. I mean, you can guess that it's cult bullshit, but I'm not going to finer details. But my idea is that this cop character has the ability to make people believe that they're guilty. So he'll, like, find someone that he thinks maybe it kind of makes sense that they could have done it. He gets them in an interrogation room, confess, and they actually believe that they did it, and they feel like an overwhelming remorse for this thing that they probably didn't even do. So there isn't even, like, a trial, they immediately, like, plead guilty. And the town has 100%, like, solve rate. I imagine that, like, anyone with powers is immune, Phineas especially. So I've got, like, this idea where, like, maybe the guy tries to railroad him into fucking off. But then he just eats him. Or something. I don't know. It's not something I plan to elaborate on, but it's a general idea. There are a handful of... Like, we have Phineas, we have Edith, we have Tommy as the main people that I have with powers so far. But each, like, chapter, they're gonna... Like, sort of chapter, they're gonna encounter a different person in town who has, like, weird powers. Actually, my guy... There's a guy that I actually have who fits into a different concept of mine. My little, my other little small-town horror with the kid protagonist. Kelly. He's a character that I made. He sort of runs a diner, and he has, like, this weird thing where, like, there's a lot of him, and there's sort of like a hive mind. I'm actually picturing that he's one of these things in town, but he's not, like, particularly dangerous, so they don't, like, try to take him out or anything. Like, he serves meat made of himself at his restaurant, but, like, that's not hurting anyone. Like, they get in there one day and they get some food, and Phineas is like, that's people. I know what people taste like. That's people. And they're like, why? He's killing people. And then they get it to him, and he's like, no, I'm just... my clones die sometimes, so I just cut them up. waste not, want not, you know? But he does leave town and go to the other little town in my little small town horror story. So he's an outsider in that other little fucked up town. I don't know. There's this other guy that I gotta actually, like, draw him, but there's a character who's, like, sort of a weird, new agey type guy. Like, I'm very fascinated by, like, spiritualism and how dumb and easily debunked a lot of it is. Like, I got nothing against, like, people who believe things, but, like, there's this very particular type of, like, spiritualist, very, like, vaguely vaguely hinged sort of spirituality type subset that's rife with scamming, rife with pseudoscience, the kind of stuff that you see at, like, the Conscious Life Expo and shit like that. Very prone to, like, miniature cults, that sort of thing. And he's not in on the actual, like, overarching cult spread throughout the whole town. He's just doing his own thing. But I want to have a guy who's, like, sort of a... just a weird little guy who does, like, dumb little cold reads, but, like, sort of like a Gideon from Gravity Falls. He's very clear. He plays into all that scammy shit, but he also actually has powers, sort of. They're different than the kind of powers you'd expect, though. I won't elaborate further on that. But I'm very entertained by weird, like, culty spiritualist shit and how dumb it is. There's always, like, this shit with, like, you know, Ascended Masters or, what's it called? That fucking, like, astral projection library. The Akashic Records. Like, there's this, like, multiverse, like, this extended universe of weird, like, extremely vague and easily mishmashed together spiritualist stuff. Like, they pick and choose, and I think it started with, like, theosophy and stuff, like, in the, like, turn of the century type bullshit. And, you know, Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn and all that crap. You know, Aleister Crowley. Though Crowley was, I think he was a little more, what do you call it, little more grounded in what he believed, I think, from what I know. He was batshit, but he had, like, a solid idea. But yeah, like, there's this, like, it's this stuff, it's like this extended universe of weird little, vague spiritualist beliefs, like how, all of the actually, you know, Jesus and Buddha and all these other figures either were the same person or all existed and had access to the same shit. It's the kind of stuff that gives birth to shit like, Happy Science and the Raelians and stuff like that. There's this podcast that I listen to a lot called Oh No, Ross and Carrie, and it's just these two people who, like, go around and try out different, like, what do you call it? Pseudoscience, alternative medicine, spirituality things, and claims of the paranormal, and they try them out, and they, you know, give a very honest and very, well-researched overview of everything. They did, like, a massive series, like a 12-part series where they got as far as they could into the cult of Scientology, which is very cool. They did it, like, very early on, they did Mormons. And they're very, like, they're very good faith. They're very, like, they do, like, they do approach it from from a thing of like, okay, most, like, they do approach it from a standpoint of like, people actually do believe this sort of stuff. I'm sure some of these people, even if they're harmful, a lot of them are probably coming to it from a place of they actually believe they're you know, psychic, or they actually believe that, and they leave it alone, and they kind of leave it alone and aren't too brutal on it if it's pretty much harmless. They have like a whole like scale, like scale of 1 to 10, how dangerous is it? Scale of 1 to 10, how pocket draining is it? Scale 1 to 10, how unsupported is it? Stuff like that. And they did a big series. They're doing a second one now, but it's not as continuous. But a couple years ago, like right before COVID hit, they went to the 2020 Conscious Life Expo, which is just full of like alternative medicine and spirituality stuff. And they did a very comprehensive review of a bunch of stuff that they tried out there. And currently they're going through what they did at the Conscious Life Expo this year, though they're rather than doing an overview of everything they did at the conference, they're just doing separate episodes based on the ones that stood out most to them. And they've done a handful of like interviews with like these kind of scammer cult leader type people, where they like come at them from the thing of like, yeah, I'm a journalist, I'm trying to get your side, and they are very like, oh, cat just came into my room. Okay, but yeah, they are very, again, they're very good faith. They go in trying to assume the best, but like they do these interviews with some of these people, and they do it for like the first like while of the interview. They don't really give them any hard questions. They just let them like go off in the direction that they want to, and tell them that, and then they like very reasonably, very calmly, you know, ask for sources, or like bring up accusations, things like that, and then you just get to listen to, and like for the worst case people, you know, people who are like actively scammers, like there's this one woman, this Russian lady, who runs like a miniature spiritualist cult. I forget her name. But like, after they did this, they actually had an interview with a pair of women who left that woman's group, and like they told their stories of like how fucked up it was. But they did an interview with this woman where she like, you know, very like jerking herself off the whole time, and then she brings up the interviewer, that is Carrie, after this woman has like gone off for like an hour about herself, with Carrie just like nodding along. Carrie then brings up like, I forget what she brought up exactly, but she brought up like some reasonable opposition, like the fact that yeah, she was claiming to have like some kind of study done, and saying like, I actually couldn't find any records of that, could you tell me where I could find that? And the woman just flounders on that, and then she brings up like, I couldn't find any records of this man that you said you studied under. Like, your story, it just doesn't make all that much sense. Could you help me fill in the gaps here? And the woman, like, gets very passive-aggressively angry and asks to end the interview and says, you can't air this. And it's like, no, I don't know how the law works over in Russia, but here in America, if you agree to this interview, I very much can air it, and I will be publishing this interview. And you can get your lawyer and contact me if you like, but this will be going on the air. And the whole time, the woman's just like, no, I do not give you permission. And she's like, nah, I don't need your permission. I can just post this if I want. And it's very entertaining. But yeah, I really enjoy that kind of like scammy shit getting debunked. I really enjoy learning like how people scam people. It's very, very fun. And that show is just, that little podcast is just food for the brain for me. So yeah, that's also why I listen to shows like QAnon Anonymous and things like that. They're just it's very fun to hear people going into deep dives about scammy stuff or conspiracy theory stuff and just like debunking it point by point and like having a good time with it. And another one that I just started listening to was this podcast called Knowledge Fight, where they just listen to episodes of InfoWars and go through them. It's very fun. I'm only a couple episodes in on that, though. Whenever I start a new podcast, I tend to start from the very beginning. Sorry. I was originally having these guys lined up so that I could really, so that I could, like, put an accurate size difference, because they do have, like, a difference in height, but if I actually did that, you know, Phineas would be so low in the frame, so I'm just gonna write the height things different on the thing. Foreshortening. Thank you. It's a little it's like a little like Undertale lo-fi mix that I found. Thinking of doing another, like, I'm using this as reference. This is a thing that I did for Pride a couple years ago. I'm thinking of doing another Pride type thing with some of my characters, but this time probably with like the Dracula and the other Monster Mash types. I'm not sure though. I don't have a lot of time these days. I might open commissions again soon though. I just finished sort of a long-term thing that I was working on with a client. Sorry for the creaking. The microphone on my headset isn't that good. I have another microphone that's really nice, but for some reason it won't pair up anymore with my computer. Like, it'll get in there, and I can, like, I don't know. I guess it just broke or something. Sorta. I mean, it's mostly just that Van Helsing, like, tried to, like, honeypot Dracula when he first met him to try and kill him. After that, though, they didn't really hook up at all because that didn't work. I mean, Dracula would be down to fuck again, but no, he's gonna, like, Helsing's gonna kill him if he tries that again. Oh, yeah. But, like, because Helsing knows that Dracula is wise to that, he's not gonna try and fuck him again. Because he keeps telling himself, no, it was just to get the drop on him. I'm not gonna sin again if it's not even gonna let me kill that guy. Sorta. I mean, like, I don't know if he's confused about gender. He's mainly just like, I don't fucking know. I don't fucking care. Like this image is like, it's from like my Pride thing that I did a couple of years ago. And like everybody's got like their flags on him, and Finney's like, where the fuck would I even fit? I don't give a shit. Well, yeah. Amnesia. As a bitch. He's like, if Wolverine was a neckbeard. Yeah. Did you know that, like, in, like, the 80s or 90s or something, when they were, like, first, like, thinking, like, oh, we should do some, Marvel movies, Stan Lee's first choice to be Wolverine was Danny DeVito? There's some, like, perspective poster art out there that's, like, one of those, like, realistic painting type poster art things. Or someone drew Danny DeVito as Wolverine. Because he's tiny. Hang on, let me see if I can find it. There's a lot of photoshopped shit. I don't... Ah, there it is. Alright, hang on. There it is. I mean, he doesn't look bad. Younger Danny DeVito, you know. That could have been a thing. Like, I love Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. But that's like the one critique. Like, they could have cast someone smaller. And they could have also, as the, like, this is the problem with, like, every superhero movie, but as the years went on, they could have, like, I don't know, maybe not had him work out to the point of looking freakish. I hate that in movies so much, where, like, every dude is, like, unhealthily jacked with, like, saran wrap skin. It looks painful. I fucking hate it. I will never have a character with a six-pack. Never. You couldn't pay me enough. I mean, you could pay me enough. But I'm not going to do it on my own dime. Yes! Save the bellies. And also just, like, that kind of, like, extremely jacked-looking physique where, like, the skin is, like, really tight. That's incredibly unhealthy. Like, it doesn't reflect, like, true power. It's, like, essentially the equivalent of, like, those, like, stick-thin supermodels. Like, it takes a lot of work to get there, but also, like, it's not healthy. It's a physical ideal that takes a lot of effort, but it's not healthy and it's not maintainable without, like, some kind of... with, like, hurting yourself or developing an eating disorder or some shit. Like, when your skin... like, when you see bodybuilders up on stage, they're, like, incredibly, like... they, like, have to, like, dehydrate themselves a bit in order to get to that state before a show. But, like, in, like, the first couple X-Men movies, you know, he's not nearly as freakishly jacked. He's definitely buff, but, like, he looks like a normal human being. And, like, if you're playing, like, a starved character, like, if you look at him in, Les Miserables, in, like, the first scene, like, you know, as Jean Valjean, he's in the prison, and, like, both incredibly jacked and also, like, he's in prison, so he's starved. Like, it's fucked up that, like, after that movie came out, people were asking, like, Anne Hathaway, like, what was your dieting routine? It's like, I was trying to look like a woman starved on the streets. Like, that was the goal, like, with my whole routine for that movie. Yeah, I read Les Miserables years and years ago. I didn't maintain a word of it. Like, I remember some details, but with big old books like that, I just cannot keep them in my head. Like, I remember the detail of, like, the scene where he goes off on a tangent about how these nuns don't brush their teeth because that was fucking whack, but, like, I don't really remember much else. Yeah. I know, it's just fucked up beauty ideals, man. I don't waste too much brain time thinking about that shit. Yeah. More characters need to be friend-shaped like that. Like, I love me a buff dude, but he can't be fucking comic book Hollywood buff. That shit unnerves me. Like, I remember when I first saw that fucking Liver King guy, I, like, nearly retched. Like, he just looks like, every time I watched a video of him, he sounded just out of breath the entire time. And, like, some of that's like, oh, he's always working out, so of course he's gonna be, like, trying to catch his breath, but, like, God. Just, sometimes, like, he'll just be sitting there at, like, the dinner table, you know, showing off his fucked up food meals of testicles and shit. And, like, he just sounds like he's in pain. He looks like he's in pain. And then, like, later on, people were like, oh, yeah, he's definitely on steroids. Here's the email to prove it. And he did, like, some apology video. And, like, he was talking about how, like, he doesn't feel good about himself if he doesn't work out. Like, that man has as much of an eating disorder as, like, any, like, you know, fashion model who, you know, starves herself. Like, he compulsively works out, he admits to that, to feel good, because he doesn't feel good about himself otherwise. He has this, like, assuming he actually sticks to that diet, that's, like, almost entirely, like, weird raw meats and organ meats and stuff. Like, ugh. Sorry. It's concerning. Yeah. I don't know who those people are. I assume they're your OCs or something. Yeah. Man, I need to fucking hang out with people. I'm so fucking... I never get out. Like, I live in the middle of... Like, I got some plans for later in the month where I'm actually gonna go out, but I'm not going out and... What was I saying? But yeah, I have plans to go out later this month for a concert, but like, I'm not going with anyone. Yeah, that'd be nice. Unless you, like... what was I saying? I doubt you live in, like, the Boise area, though. I don't know, maybe I don't know. I don't use Discord or shit or any of those other talk apps, because I just don't fucking care most of the time. I don't know, maybe I should, get more in touch, you know, talking on voice calls with friends or something. But I don't know, I'm never good with, like, fucking chat shit. I don't like talking to people, like, in DMs and stuff. Like, I can't maintain a freaking conversation over text. Like, I theoretically could, like, you know, have a good time, you know, shooting the shit with people in, like, a voice call or something. Yeah. I could, yeah, like, but, like, if it's dependent on typing, like, that just bugs me, because, you know, you get the little notification... I get the notification, it interrupts whatever I'm doing, and you gotta put all your focus into, like, typing something. Like, you can't really multitask while typing. That's why I never get any work done on my writing. I can't not be multitasking. I always have to be listening to something while I'm doing something else, or have a video on my mini player or something. I don't know. I don't like really talking on the phone either. Oh yeah, these are two of my OCs, Phineas and Gerald. They're really fun, I love these guys. I got a little, ref picture off in the corner where I drew them again. Phineas is like a weird shape-shifting monster man, this guy with the ponytail. And Gerald is his co-worker. I mean, maybe a little too forward. Like, I know you from commissions and stuff. I don't fault you for, like, trying to connect or anything. I don't know, just talking to people in general is a little weird for me. I'm very solitary by nature. Like, I want to not be because I've been solitary for a long time, but, like, I'm gonna break that. I want to do it with, like, people IRL. Don't be sorry, it's fine. Same. Boundaries are hard. Little bit, I guess. He's like a shy boy, though. It's like a 40-year-old dude who lives alone, collects bugs. They work together at like a funeral home. They're both embalmers. Or rather, Phineas ate Gerald's co-worker and assumed his form, but the guy was a necrophile, so no big loss. Okay, I gotta fucking go a different route with these stupid fucking ears. I'm just stuck on these ears for... no, his jaw. Oh yeah, did you not know that about Phineas's backstory? He started out as like a headless corpse in a morgue. And then Kevin Campbell, whose middle name is Phineas, this guy was a necrophiliac, and he tried to get with the corpse, and then the corpse woke up, headless lady woke up, ate him with a giant stomach mouth, and then assumed Kevin's form, and now he goes by Phineas because he doesn't want to go by that guy's name. Trigger warning. But yeah, he's basically assumed his life a little bit since then. I mean, Gerald knows that he's not actually, that he's a different person because he walked in on the whole thing. And that's kind of why they're buddies, because Phineas doesn't want to kill Gerald because, like, I don't know, he doesn't feel like, at first it's just he doesn't feel like it. And then later on, you know, Gerald's the only person who knows, so he's the only one that Phineas can really talk to. So that's kind of the inciting incident of their friendship. Yeah. My face when that happens. You know that feeling. We've all been there. His hair's kind of hard to draw from the front. It's all like wispy. I don't really like drawing people head on like this, unless they have a very specific, like, head shape, or smaller noses. Like, little button noses are easy to draw from the front, but not so much kind of aquiline looking noses like Gerald's got. This kind of receding hairline's a little hard to draw too from the front. That's kind of little confidential, little bit spoilers. I have like a whole idea of like what leads up. Like the officially, this Jane Doe's body is found at some point in the town. And after an investigation is done, the body ends up at the morgue. And Phineas does not remember anything prior to waking up there and eating Kevin. Yeah, that's all the, like, that's the non-spoiler plot stuff that I can get into. Anything aside from that is pretty much spoilers. Ugh, I don't like drawing him from the front. He looks fucked up. I don't know, yeah. Yeah, I really want to get some shit done on that front, but it's writing's hard. Making comics is hard. Yeah, that's a great trope. Kinda, yeah. Hmm. At the same time, though, he's not bored. Sorta. He kinda puts on a mask. A man is constantly embroiled in existential crisis. Yeah. Sick of this fucking hand. Urgh. Thank you. He's especially partial to mantises. He's got several of them as pets. He also really likes jumping spiders. You ever seen a jumping spider? They're fucking cute. But yeah, he's got a couple of them in little terrariums. Yeah, little fuzzy guys. Yeah, they show up a lot around here. Like, I used to live in Arizona, and I hated bugs so much, because, like, all the bugs there are fucking horrifying. And, like, if a bug gets in your house, then it's like, I hate it. But no, since we moved here, and we're more of a countryside type area, very rural, there's more bugs around, and it was hell for me at first. But now that I'm more accustomed to them, I'm not nearly as fucked up by bugs as I used to be. And it helps that there's not like scorpions or anything. So every now and then, a little jumping spider will get into my room or something, and I'll just be like, oh, hey, little guy. And I just let him live wherever he is, because he's not going to bug me. He's probably just going to set up shop in a corner and eat all the flies that come in. Like, I'll sweep away a really old cobweb every once in a while, when there isn't a spider living there anymore. But my mom will try to, like, you know, get rid of, like, spider webs in her house that are, like, way away in the corner. And I'll be like, Mom, just let it be there. It'll die eventually, and, well, as soon as, like, while it's here, it's gonna take care of flies. And she's like, no, I don't want fucking spider webs in my house. Ugh, big ants. Ugh. Like, we get ants around here, and, like, I see them outside, they don't bug me. If we get them in the house, you know, obviously that's gonna annoy me. But big ants. Like, I remember when I was a kid, I watched some kind of nature documentary about these massive ants, and it just scared the shit out of me. Because they had like a dramatization of some story where the ants got into like the tent of some small family that was camping and just covered their infant child. Oh, snack. Not something I would do, but, you know, bugs. You know, shrimp and lobster and crab are just big-ass water bugs, so whatever. I know, I would be opposed to eating bugs, but I just not fond of the texture. The idea of something crunching like that. Ugh. In Arizona, like, in, like, any kind of, like, touristy shop, you're always gonna find those lollipops that have the scorpions inside. That's a novel thing down in the Southwest. I'd recommend you go for the prickly pear candy instead. That's another thing we always have in our little touristy type shops in the Southwest. Prickly pear is so good. Jumping beans, I don't know. I never actually, like, I don't even know what jumping beans are, technically. I think we have, like, little novelty, like, cans or something that are full of, like, oh, we've got jumping beans inside, and they make, like, noise when you shake them or something. I think the whole thing is just that there's this particular type of, like, bean or seed that get larvae in them and they move around. Yeah, I'm talking about snacks and candies and stuff. But like, yeah, anytime you go to any little, like tourist town or candy shop in the Southwest, you're always gonna find lollipops with whole scorpions in them, just in the middle for you to see. And they also got like candied ants and stuff like that. Those are something that we do down there too. I never ate them because it's not something I'd want to eat. But prickly pear candy, ooh. There's also this prickly pear soda that they sell it at like Cost Plus World Market and stuff. And back where I lived, we'd always have prickly pear cactuses all around, and they'd grow fruit in the spring. And in the summer, they'd be ripe enough for you to pick if you went out with gloves and stuff. And we never actually went out and like harvested them at any point. But I've had like raw prickly pear. A ghost pepper, I don't know if that's a Southwest thing. Like, we're fond of our spicy food down there. I'm not, though, because I have the palate of an English toddler, but... Ooh, chocolate cake, oh. I gotta grab me something sweet after this. I feel like every state up here in the US has some kind of like, oh, signature dessert or signature candy. And like, I think the scorpion lollipops would be the Arizona one, or maybe some kind of prickly pear candy. But here in Idaho, you know what our like signature like state dessert is? Guess. Try and guess. It's both very obvious and also, why the fuck would you think of that? Yes, we have something called the ice cream potato. And when I first saw an ad for it at like a county fair that we went to, I was thinking, oh, yeah, I could see that. It's kind of same vein as like, you know, dipping fries in your Frosty. You know, I imagine it's like, you know, maybe a hollowed out like fried potato skin, like filled with vanilla ice cream. That's actually doesn't sound bad. But then I actually saw it, and it's not that. It's literally just an potato-shaped hunk of ice cream with like cocoa powder sprinkled over it, and like whipped cream and green sprinkles so that it looks like it's got sour cream and chives. Like, that's just a hunk of vanilla ice cream. Like, what? It's not even unique. I would love to try, like, you know, a hollowed out, like, fried potato skin full of ice cream. That would probably be pretty dope. Do y'all never dip your fries in your Frosty? Ooh. There's McDonald's near here. Maybe I'll try and get a McFlurry. Or just a fry and an ice cream cone. Man, now I'm craving fries and vanilla ice cream. But yeah, like, it was so disappointing when I finally found out that an ice cream potato doesn't have any potato in it. It's just a hunk of ice cream that looks like a potato. Like, that's not unique. It's just fucking vanilla ice cream. Come on. Be weird with it. We're already one of the most dull states. We could at least, like, try. You're digging yourself further into this boring potato state hole. Though we do have a lot of huckleberry stuff here. Huckleberries seem to be like a very Idaho thing. Every time I like go into like some kind of little like corner store or whatever, there's always like a bunch of huckleberry treats. There's like this place where I shop sometimes. Yeah, corn. Indiana. Uh, what was I saying? Yeah, like there's a little corner store near where I live, and they've always got like some huckleberry stuff there. And one thing they've got there is like white chocolate hot cocoa with huckleberry. Yeah, no, nothing interesting happens in these little ass states. It took ages for me to like find like a concert of someone that I want to see going down here. Yeah, huckleberries are good. There's like this, my brother bought like this huckleberry syrup this one time, and he used it to marinate, like some steaks. Yeah, flyover. Uh, and like it tasted pretty good. Like he marinated some, he got like a nice like marinade, and added in some huckleberry syrup to it, and like put that all over these like steaks, and he put them in my dad's like smoker, and they turned out pretty good. The berry flavor actually goes quite nice with meat. Oh, and there's this ice cream and donut place that's on my route home from work. And I've only been there a couple times, but they got a bunch of like little cute gimmick donuts. Hello, nice to see you. We're talking about desserts and like local desserts stuff. But yeah, there's this donut place that I go to, that I've gone to a couple times. You know what a Boston cream donut is, right? Yeah, it's like what do you call it? It's a Boston cream donut. It's got like, yeah, jelly donuts. I'm not into jelly donuts, but I respect that that's a thing that people like a lot. But yeah, there's this. So Boston cream donuts are like, you know, the regular like donuts, and they've got like chocolate on top and, you know, cream in the middle. Hey, they're called Dunkin' now. Just Dunkin'. What's my name? Dunkacheeto. It's a whole. Dunkacheeto. But yeah, like, so, you know what a Boston cream is. This donut place has something called a Boise cream, and Boise is, our capital city here in Idaho. The Boise cream, it's got a huckleberry cream in the middle, and it's still got the chocolate on top, but it's also got like a huckleberry sauce drizzle on top. And I never tried it because that's not something I really like. I don't really like fruit with chocolate so much, except for like maybe strawberry. But I got it for my mom on her birthday, and she liked it. Yeah. We got like Dutch Brothers here. A lot of Dutch Brothers. And a lot of people with Dutch Brothers stickers on their windshields. Like my brother actually went to like, at some point a couple years ago when he was still like in high school, he tried to get a job at a Dutch Brothers, and he said like the initiation process was like weird. Like there were all these little like team pep talks and stuff that felt like borderline culty. I don't really drink coffee though, so like I'm not too privy to like how good any of that is. Oh man, that sounds good. Are you talking about the unicorn frappuccino or whatever? Now they're doing that like olive oil coffee, and it just looks dreadful. Are they any good? I like Popeyes the best. That's my favorite fried chicken. Yeah, I love that meme that's like, yeah, the fucking unicorn frappuccino. I remember the ads for that everywhere. Yeah, yeah, that's what I was seeing. Like when people were like, "Oh, Starbucks is doing that olive oil coffee." Oh yeah, here we say the onomatopoeia for a rooster crowing is cock-a-doodle-doo. Cocorico. Yeah, I can see that. We actually have a rooster here. He's an asshole. The rooster? Did the rooster taste good? We haven't killed him. Oh, hello. We're talking about food. Yeah, you mentioned Dunkin' Donuts earlier. That's just that every time anyone mentions Dunkin' Donuts, I just think of the frickin' Al Pacino ad. You know that? For the Dunkachino? Yeah, I never tried it because I don't fuck around going out of my comfort zone when it comes to Starbucks. Like, I've done that like a couple times and it's always bad for me. Like, the only thing I'll ever get there is the vanilla frap. Because I don't like coffee. Eh, what was that? Probably. But yeah, does anyone here know about the Dunkachino ad with Al Pacino in it? That's the funniest shit on the planet. Not like the ad itself isn't necessarily funny, but the concept is fucking hilarious. They've just got Al Pacino in there doing a weird rap about coffee. Yeah. I don't know if I ever actually like saw it on TV when that was a thing, but then, you know, I watched like the yeah, I watched the RTVS crews like streams and stuff, or not the actual streams. I watch the VODs because I don't watch any fucking live streams. I don't have the intention for it. But they always reference it, and that made me be like, oh yeah, that existed. Well, yeah, like sure, but every celebrity's got to get their fucking paycheck, man. They're all sellouts. Everybody wants my Dunkachino. What's my name? Dunkachino. It's a whole new gang. Dunkachino. Oh. Wrong setting. Sour... Was the unicorn frappe really mango flavored? Weird. Yeah, man, everybody wants Al Pacino's pussy. That's the best kind of pussy. Cinnabon. I haven't had Cinnabon in forever. I feel like every time I've tried it, it made my teeth hurt. It's one of those things. Man, slushies are always good. Yeah, sometimes when we're having, like, family over or something, my mom will make cinnamon rolls for breakfast. And those orange rolls. Not too keen on those, though. I like me a good cinnamon roll, though. Yo, I love me a good bagel. Like a good bagel. Not the regular grocery store bakery type. I mean a good fucking bagel. There was this one place that in Arizona that we'd go every so often. It was a little out of the way, so we wouldn't go a lot. But they had good bagels. I love a salt bagel. Everything bagels are alright. They're not my favorite, though. I just like me a good salt bagel, or maybe a sesame seed bagel. Oh, I've seen videos of that. I've seen them, mainly though, they've been in the context of like a hot cocoa ball or something like that. Oh man, I'm so glad I never had to work in fast food at any point. I've only had 2 different jobs so far. They've both been in the food industry, but not like fast food. But my first job, I really didn't fucking like it. It wasn't until I got into the job that I have now that I realized, like, how bad my other job was. I was working at, like, a sort of a restaurant in downtown Boise, and it was like a small, like it was, I don't know, it was a weird situation because it was like a gimmicky kind of faux upscale restaurant. Like the whole gimmick was like is a fondue restaurant, and everything got cooked like at the table in little fondue pots. Like they had your whatever. Oh yeah, good to be in a union. I wish my place had a union, but where it's not so bad that I'm like, oh, we did a union. But unions are great. But my old job, like, yeah, it was a fondue place, so you had your appetizers, which were like, you know, bread and cheese. You know, you had your pot full of cheese, and you dip your bread into it on your little forks. And your entree would be, they would like literally serve you like raw meat on a plate, and then they'd give you like a thing of broth that you'd cook it in. And they'd have like a little chart on the table for like, this is how long you should generally cook these specific types of meat. This is how long you should keep them in the broth if you want them like a certain level of doneness, or in the case of like chicken or pork, like if you want them to be safe to eat. And then dessert would be like plates of like fruit and marshmallows and things like that you dip in like chocolate or caramel sauce. So we didn't like really cook anything in the kitchen. But I was on dish, and I fucking hated it. I only worked part-time, and only like maybe 3 or 4 days a week. But it was still like 10 times as stressful as the full-time job that I'm working now. Yeah, I'm just glad I was never, like, at the front. I'm glad I've never had to be, like, a server or a cashier. Like, I cannot deal with fucking talking to people like that and being in any kind of customer service. And the thing about it is, since I was, I'd work evenings at this place, because it was, like, a mainly just lunch and dinner restaurant. They didn't, like, an evening restaurant. They didn't really do breakfast or any kind of early lunch. So I, like, aside from the manager, myself and the other dishwashers would be the last people to leave, because we had to clean up everything at the end of the night. But, like, people would stay for so long after closing. It was so fucked. Like, we would close at, like, 8 or 9, and people would stay until, like, midnight. And sometimes I wouldn't get home until, like, 2 a.m. But yeah, that place was not very well managed. I heard, like, sometimes people would talk about, like, I don't know if they were joking, but they probably weren't joking. They were talking about how, like, the managers all did coke or something, or speed. One time a server came in drunk, and he had to go home. And he kept his job. He left eventually, but I don't know what for. And there was another guy who, a cook there, who was kind of an asshole. He was just like a rude fucking guy. And when the pandemic hit, you know, we were all off for like 2 weeks or something. And they just did call him to come back to work. They just basically fired him by exclusion. But yeah, I quit not long after the pandemic. Yeah, customer service is a thankless job. You don't have to work in that field to recognize that. But now I'm like a dishwasher and a porter. My main priority job is putting away orders where I work. consolidating all our stock and all that. And the rest of the time, I'm either on dish or I do prep cook stuff. Oh. How festive. I sure hope something horrible didn't happen. I sure hope he was very polite and full of Christmas spirit. Oh. Okay. Fun. Oh. Stop. I'm on the edge of my seat. Oh! Slay. I'm sure he was killing it. I think that's pretty much good for the lines. Let me just add some stuff to the whatchamacallit. Aw. Oh. Unsolved mysteries. Hey man, don't be a narc. At the community college that I went to for, like, individual classes for a while, they just kind of had a food pantry there. A lot of stuff they served there was not very good. I'm not talking about the food pantry. The food pantry was just like, you know, wrap stuff. You could take a couple items out of there per day. But like at the actual lunchroom, they had like, you ever seen those like spam nigiri? They're just like what you call. They're just like that. It's just like a piece of spam over top some rice with like sushi around it. Apparently a lot of people like it, but eh. Yeah, I don't fuck with spam. Yeah. Everybody needs food. Food gotta be human right. Woof. Okay, looks pretty good for the line art. I'm gonna take a break here, take the dogs out, and get myself a quick snack, and I'll be back in a little bit. Y'all can talk about your school experiences amongst yourselves. Let me see, let me see if I can do something real quick. America. Hang on a sec. I want to do something here. All right, I'm gonna leave you with this. While I go walk my dog or take my dogs out for a minute and get myself a snack.
Something's brewing at D&D.
Wow! Al Pacino! It's not Al anymore. It's Dunk.
Dunkachino?
Don't mind if I do.
What's my name?
Dunkachino.
It's a whole new game.
Dunkachino.
You want creamy goodness? I'm your friend. Say hello to my chocolate blend. Attica, ooh-ah, lottie-light. This whole trial is out of sight. They pull me back in with hazelnut too. Caramel swirl, I know it was you. Everyone wants my Dunkachino. Can't get enough of my Dunkachino. Kids from 7 to 17 lining up for my Dunkachino. What's my name?
Dunkachino.
Ah, Dunka.
Dunkachino.
Something's brewing at D&D.
Wow!
Al Pacino!
It's not Al anymore. It's Dunk.
Dunkachino?
Don't mind if I do.
What's my name?
Dunkachino.
It's a whole new game.
Dunkachino.
You want creamy goodness? I'm your friend. Say hello to my chocolate blend. Attica, ooh-ah, lottie-light. This whole trial is out of sight. They pull me back in with hazelnut too. Caramel swirl, I know it was you. Everyone wants my Dunkachino. Can't get enough of my Dunkachino. Kids from 7 to 17 lining up for my Dunkachino. What's my name?
Dunkachino.
Ah, Dunka.
Dunkachino.
Something's brewing at D&D.
Wow!
Al Pacino!
It's not Al anymore. It's Dunk.
Dunkachino?
Don't mind if I do.
What's my name?
Dunkachino.
It's a whole new game.
Dunkachino.
You want creamy goodness? I'm your friend. Say hello to my chocolate blend. Attica, ooh-ah, lottie-light. This whole trial is out of sight. They pull me back in with hazelnut too. Caramel swirl, I know it was you. Everyone wants my Dunkachino. Can't get enough of my Dunkachino. Kids from 7 to 17 lining up for my Dunkachino. What's my name?
Dunkachino.
Ah, Dunka.
Dunkachino.
Something's brewing at D&D.
Wow!
Al Pacino!
It's not Al anymore. It's Dunk.
Dunkachino?
Don't mind if I do.
What's my name?
Dunkachino.
It's a whole new game.
Dunkachino.
You want creamy goodness? I'm your friend. Say hello to my chocolate blend. Attica, ooh-ah, lottie-light. This whole trial is out of sight. They pull me back in with hazelnut too. Caramel swirl, I know it was you. Everyone wants my Dunkachino. Can't get enough of my Dunkachino. Kids from 7 to 17 lining up for my Dunkachino. What's my name?
Dunkachino.
Ah, Dunka.
Dunkachino.
Something's brewing at D&D.
Wow!
Al Pacino!
It's not Al anymore. It's Dunk.
Dunkachino?
Don't mind if I do.
What's my name?
Dunkachino.
It's a whole new game.
Dunkachino.
You want creamy goodness? I'm your friend. Say hello to my chocolate blend. Attica, lottie light. This whole trial is out of sight. They pull me back in with hazelnut too. Caramel swirl, I know it was you. Everyone wants my Dunkachino. Can't get enough of my Dunkachino. Kids from 7 to 17 lining up for my Dunkachino. What's my name?
Dunkachino.
Dunkachino.
Something's brewing at D&D.
Wow.
Al Pacino!
It's not Al anymore. It's Dunk.
Dunkachino?
Don't mind if I do.
What's my name?
Dunkachino.
It's a whole new game.
Dunkachino.
You want creamy goodness? I'm your friend. Say hello to my chocolate blend. Attica, lottie light. This whole trial is out of sight. They pull me back in with hazelnut too. Caramel swirl, I know it was you. Everyone wants my Dunkachino. Can't get enough of my Dunkachino. Kids from 7 to 17 lining up for my Dunkachino. What's my name?
Dunkachino.
Dunkachino.
Something's brewing at D&D.
Wow.
Al Pacino!
It's not Al anymore. It's Dunk.
Dunkachino?
Don't mind if I do.
What's my name?
Dunkachino.
It's a whole new game.
Dunkachino.
You want creamy goodness? I'm your friend. Say hello to my chocolate blend. Attica, lottie light. This whole trial is out of sight. They pull me back in with hazelnut too. Caramel swirl, I know it was you. Everyone wants my Dunkachino. Can't get enough of my Dunkachino. Kids from 7 to 17 lining up for my Dunkachino. What's my name?
Dunkachino. Dunkachino.
Something's brewing at D&D.
Wow.
Al Pacino!
It's not Al anymore. It's Dunk.
Dunkachino?
Don't mind if I do.
What's my name?
Dunkachino.
It's a whole new game.
Dunkachino.
You want creamy goodness? I'm your friend. Say hello to my chocolate blend. Attica, lottie light. This whole trial is out of sight. They pull me back in with hazelnut too. Caramel swirl, I know it was you. Everyone wants my Dunkachino. Can't get enough of my Dunkachino. Kids from 7 to 17 lining up for my Dunkachino. What's my name?
Dunkachino. Dunkachino.
Something's brewing at D&D.
Wow.
Al Pacino!
It's not Al anymore. It's Dunk.
Dunkachino?
Don't mind if I do.
What's my name?
Dunkachino.
It's a whole new game.
Dunkachino.
You want creamy goodness? I'm your friend. Say hello to my chocolate blend. Attica, lottie light. This whole trial is out of sight. They pull me back in with hazelnut too. Caramel swirl, I know it was you. Everyone wants my Dunkachino. Can't get enough of my Dunkachino. Kids from 7 to 17 lining up for my Dunkachino. What's my name?
Dunkachino. Dunkachino.
Something's brewing at D&D.
Wow.
Al Pacino!
It's not Al anymore. It's Dunk.
Dunkachino?
Don't mind if I do.
What's my name?
Dunkachino.
It's a whole new game.
Dunkachino.
You want creamy goodness? I'm your friend. Say hello to my chocolate blend. Attica, lottie light. This whole trial is out of sight. They pull me back in with hazelnut too. Caramel swirl, I know it was you. Everyone wants my Dunkachino. Can't get enough of my Dunkachino. Kids from 7 to 17 lining up for my Dunkachino. What's my name?
Dunkachino. Dunkachino.
Something's brewing at D&D.
Wow.
Al Pacino!
It's not Al anymore. It's Dunk.
Dunkachino?
Don't mind if I do.
What's my name?
Dunkachino.
It's a whole new game.
Dunkachino.
You want creamy goodness? I'm your friend. Say hello to my chocolate blend. Attica, lottie light. This whole trial is out of sight. They pull me back in with hazelnut too. Caramel swirl, I know it was you. Everyone wants my Dunkachino. Can't get enough of my Dunkachino. Kids from 7 to 17 lining up for my Dunkachino. What's my name?
Dunkachino.
Dunkachino.
Something's brewing at D&D.
Wow.
Al Pacino!
It's not Al anymore. It's Dunk.
Dunkachino?
Don't mind if I do.
What's my name?
Dunkachino.
It's a whole new game.
Dunkachino.
You want creamy goodness? I'm your friend. Say hello to my chocolate blend. Attica, lottie light. This whole trial is out of sight. They pull me back in with hazelnut too. Caramel swirl, I know it was you. Everyone wants my Dunkachino. Can't get enough of my Dunkachino. Kids from 7 to 17 lining up for my Dunkachino. What's my name?
Dunkachino. Dunkachino.
Burn this.
I'm sorry?
This must never be seen.
I'm now just realizing that Dunkachino wasn't a real commercial. It was a bit for an Adam Sandler movie. Hey man, at least Disney made a movie about your country. Oh, have I been crunching into the microphone this whole time? Sorry. Well, I was being sarcastic a little bit, but yeah, it's good that that was good representation for y'all. I'm kind of just fucking sick of Disney, but I liked Encanto. That was like the one Disney movie that I've actually watched in like the last 10 years. I mean, that's an exaggeration, but you know. I like the music. Sorry. I'm not sure what the minimum wage is here in Idaho. But I make like maybe 17 an hour. Close to that. It's like 16 and some change. I like make maybe 600 a week. Just trying to find this one fucking file. Sorry. Ah, there it is. Yeah. It's definitely more than minimum wage. It's enough that I could rent an apartment and all that. I'm not quite ready to move out yet, though. I want to do this in full color and not monochrome. So I'm just looking through my... I only have one drawing of Gerald where I've actually, like, colored him in full color instead of monochrome. So I have to, like, find that in my whips and then remove all the layers to get his actual local colors instead of the stuff with all the filters on top. Either way, though, apartment prices just keep going up, even here. There needs to be a fucking cap on that shit soon. It used to be like some decades ago, I read that, like, your rent was supposed to be, like, 20% of your income, and, like, any more than that, you should look for something else. But now it's like at least half your income. Like pretty much anywhere. I mean, nowadays you can barely get a fucking house without it being in the hundreds of thousands. Even in the US. $450? That's it? I pay like $500 just living out of my parents' house. You can't get like an apartment for like anything less than like $1,000 a month around here, I'm pretty sure. Like unless you live in like a fucking slum. I'm just lucky that I have fucking insurance, man. Stuff is fucking bad. Man, I hate that fuck that we have to do our own taxes. Did you know that, in the US, like, they know how much you owe in taxes, and if it weren't for, like, groups like, TurboTax and H&R Block, like, lobbying the government, like, it would literally be that the government would, like, send you a bill in tax season, like, this is how much we know you owe, and then you just, like, make revisions if you need to, like, deduct something. That's how it would work if H&R Block and frickin' TurboTax and those things, yeah, weren't lobbying the fucking government. And that's why we have to all do our own taxes. And it's fucking hard. Though there's a site that my mom's an accountant. She turned me on to this website that's free that makes paying taxes a little easier. And you can just kind of Google the rest. Yeah, like, every year, like, by April, you gotta, get all that shit done for your taxes for the previous year. Alright. Let's get back onto this. Oh. Here we go. Yeah. I fuck around on Reddit sometimes. It's one of like three things. One of like the three things that I do to fucking occupy my brain. We love some good memes. Yeah, taxes are taken out of your pay automatically, but when it comes to, like, federal and state taxes and shit, you gotta do that every year. Yeah. Yeah. Wish you could decide where your taxes went. Then again, I guess that's kind of what, like, how fucking rich people avoid paying, like, aside from, like, illegal shit, they, like, donate to stuff they actually give half a shit about, and then they don't have to pay taxes to the government. Like, I hate that most of my taxes go to the fucking military, probably. Yeah, fuck them. Did you know that, like, the US has, like, a stance, like, an official, like, stance that if the fucking Hague ever arrests a US soldier, a US citizen for war crimes, they'll literally fucking storm the place? Man, I was hoping that too, you know? I haven't seen the movie, though. In my heart, he is that. Speak your truth, man. Ouija gay. Ouija fuck Bowser. Okay. I mean, I'd just take the compliment. Man, I just wanna fucking wipe the slate clean when it comes to politicians. They're all just so fucked. Everybody's fucking corrupt, even the Democrats. Yeah, if we talk about politics all day, then it's gonna get wild real fast. Man, I zoned out for a minute to just focus on this, and y'all are making fast friends. Damn. Okay. Oh, thank you. You got onto my ult for affinity then? proud of that one. There's a lot of stuff, are you someone who messaged me on Tumblr? And I just know you by a different name there. But yeah, I've got a lot of stuff up on my Alt-FA that's quite sus. Very saucy. You. Yeah, I mean, not really. I mean, sorta. He puts up with a lot, but compared to everybody else, he's like the least scathed. And this isn't necessarily canon, I'm just doing it for the meme. Oh yeah, well he's not a part of this, but yeah. Captain Manning. I love that guy. I gotta draw him again soon. Yeah. That's the reality of being a fantasy sailor man. Yeah. What color for his shirt? Probably just a green. Yeah. Fuck Calypso. All my homies hate Calypso. The goddess, not the music genre. Oh yeah, thalassophobia is a thing. Oh yeah, those things are scary. But Captain Manning is a giant Pacific octopus. Yeah, that and Geographer's Cone. That's a kind of shellfish, like a snail. Those things are like instant death. Oh, fuck yeah, Spampton! Is what we'll be waiting for. Alright, that's looking pretty good. Just gotta adjust this a bit, because there was a filter on the thing I was color picking from. There we go. He had a bit of a pinker tint. I didn't know that, but I did know that they got 3 hearts. You have a good day, Pedro. Thank you. I actually might call it and end the stream here since I'm pretty much done with the colors. All that's left to do is some detail stuff, and at this point, I'm so freaking tired. So yeah, I think I'll end the stream here and finish up the lettering and the minimal background either later tonight or early tomorrow. I just can't keep streaming for now. I gotta eat like a real dinner. Yeah, see ya. Y'all have a good day.